Hello, everybody. Hello. First things first, I'm so glad you're here. Second thing, whoa, hold on a second. Second thing is my internet is so wishy-washy today. I think it might be the weather. We have some rain moving in. Oh, I have a little bit of a headache. I think it's the weather. But I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad we could come and hang out live. It looks like everything is freezing up. Hold on a second, y'all. There we go. Hello, everybody. I'm going to give it a second, make sure we're good. How is everybody doing, y'all? Today we are making the most cute, adorable little beanie hats, Christmas ornaments. We're starting the Christmas ornament series here on my channel. We're going to be making all kinds of Christmas ornaments. I recorded a video for a Christmas ornament. I'm probably going to put that up tomorrow, so keep an eye out for it. It's a quilted Christmas ornament. Hello, everybody. It's so great to see you. I just want to chit-chat for a second because I want to make sure that our internet is going nice and strong and I don't have to reset anything. We might have to, but right now it's looking like I have a green light, so yay! Come on in and get situated, everybody. Come on in and get situated. How's everybody doing? It's so great to see y'all. So some of the Christmas ornament videos we're doing live here on Thursdays. I know the live format is not for everybody. I get comments and I listen to my viewers. I know the live format is not for everybody. But for a lot of people, this is our only opportunity to interact with each other. And so I love Thursdays. I love coming to you live. And so this is not going to be a fast tutorial on how to make these little beanies. It's not. Look how cute that is. It's not going to be a fast tutorial. Y'all, there are tons and tons of really fast tutorials on how to make this. So if you just popped in because you saw the thumbnail, and you're looking for a quick way to make these beanies, I'm so sorry, but I hope that you watch the video anyway because it's fun to just chit-chat and hang out with everybody. Yes, Hazel, I have my Smurf glass today. Hello. Delane, yes, the quilt on my wall. Do y'all see that? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna show you some close-up pictures of it here in just a second. And just tell you a little story about that quilt. Yes, raid your mom's yarn stash. You might want to ask first, but yeah. You know what? It's not going to take a huge amount of yarn to make a couple beanies. So I don't think she'll mind. She might even want to make some too. Hello, everybody. It's so great to see you. But yeah, we do the lives every Thursday around 12 noon, which reminds me next week we have an appointment at 12 o'clock. So we might be on a little bit later, like 1 o'clock, because it's not supposed to last that long, but we're still coming Thursday. It's just going to be a little bit later. Y'all, this ornament is super easy. We don't need our sewing machine today, so you can turn that off. You can turn off the sewing machine. We just need a few basic things. Main ingredient is yarn, but I'll show you, and it's also listed in the description box, the few things that you need. But it's not much. It's not much. Hello, everybody. Oh, it's so great to see you. Susan, it's your first time here. I'm so glad you're here. All right, everybody, let's talk for a second before we get started about the quilt up on my design wall. If y'all are members of the creative crew, thank y'all so much. Thank you to the entire creative crew. The entire creative crew, because it is such a family. It's such a family. And I just really feel like it's such a safe space to share. And it's predominantly quilting and sewing stuff, y'all. But it's other stuff too, like crochet. Stuff like these little yarn hats, painting, knitting, stuff made on looms, stuff made with wood, all kinds of genres of crafting. And everyone is so willing to share their knowledge, share their tips and advice. People post questions about their projects they're working on, and our family members come in and help them. We do a slideshow, like a show and tell, every other Tuesday night. And yeah, we get to show off our projects. It's a lot of fun. But this past Tuesday, day before yesterday, we had our show and tell. And we go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to do the show and tell. And I started the show and tell, and we're going into it. And next thing you know, Harlan comes through the door. Well, he doesn't usually come in when I'm doing live unless I tell him, because a lot of the people, they know he plays cello. They say, Harlan, go get Harlan, let him play a song on his cello. They're following along in his progress and learning. So I'll say, Harlan, go get your cello, and he comes in during the live. But he doesn't usually just come in without being invited. So I was so confused. So he came in, and he had a box with him. And it was like a priority mailbox. And the only thing I'm thinking is that I've ordered 30 glue sticks and a new rotary cutter on Amazon, and it's supposed to be here today. But I thought, well, maybe it came early, because, you know, sometimes it does that. And I'm like, why? Why is he bringing me all my glue sticks during the live? I was so confused. Anyway, I did not know that Sally was right on the other side of the door. She came in and surprised me. Y'all, she put together this quilt, but the blocks were made by creative crew members. They all secretly sent Sally blocks, and I don't even know how long that's been going on, how they organized that. I assume it was through the Zooms. But y'all, I'm there for a lot of the Zooms. There's a few Zooms where they hosted a Zoom when I was traveling, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss the Zoom because we're on the road. And I have a feeling that that's when a lot of the planning was done. But look at that quilt. She scared me so much when she came through the door, but it was such an awesome surprise, y'all. Anyway, I know the quilt is a little bit out of focus because the camera is really focused on me. So I want to just share, before we get started today, a close-up picture. And Sally, I hope it's okay that I post a picture with you in it. I love you. Let's share this picture. You can really see that really close up, right? Look at all of the detail. Y'all, predominantly, a lot of these blocks were done during the stay-at-home series that we did, the traditional quilt blocks. A few of them are a little bit different, like Connie's little self-portrait. That's what she calls it. But yes, look at that. Look at all of that work. Not much goes by that I don't know in the creative crew. And yeah, so it was a total surprise. I want you to see the back of this quilt too, because the quilting that Sally did with this quilt is phenomenal. Look at all of that quilting. My mind is still blown. I just don't have words to put together to express how thankful I am, how blessed I feel. And this will always be treasured. So I just really wanted to show you that quilt close up. I love it. I love it. So yeah, evidently stuff happens in the Zooms when I'm not there. And if you're on the creative crew and you see a Zoom link posted, I encourage you to come on in. I promise you, we are nothing but friendly. We have some belly laughs where we laugh until we cry. We talk about projects, but mostly we just hang out with each other. I really encourage you to jump in the Zooms on Creative Crew if you see the link posted. So today, y'all, let me move you down to the cutting mat. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? I love it. So these little hats, y'all, these hats have been around for quite a few years. And I've scrolled past several videos the last couple years on these, and I've always thought they were cute, but I never made them until this past week, and it was so much fun. It was so easy that I was like, yeah, we're going to make these during a live. But look how cute they are. This one has a little bit of a wider brim on the hat than this one. It changes the look just a little bit, but that's just some variances that you could do with your hats. You could do patterns with your yarn or just use the same continuous yarn all the way through. So many possibilities. So many possibilities. Aren't they super cute? So that's what we're making today. And look, this is really it. I have some Red Heart yarn. I'm going to use two colors. I'm going to use these two colors. We have some polyfill. And really, you only need a tiny little bit, just like that. That's really all you need. I'm going to be using a toilet paper insert, the middle of a toilet paper roll. You could use a paper towel roll too, if you have that. And then, of course, our scissors. And y'all, I'm going to measure my yarn out with a book. And let's measure this book real quick. I don't think it has to be exact, y'all. And when I cut these little strands apart, I'll tell you how long the strands are. But my book measures almost 8.5 inches. I did it the other day with a 7-inch tall book, and that worked too. And the book is like an inch thick. But really, we're going to be trimming the yarn, so I bet you any book would do. I'm just going to use this to measure out our strands. So let's go ahead and get started, y'all. I think depending on the thickness of your yarn, I'm pulling my yarn out from the center, so it's just going to pull continuously like that. I think that depending on the thickness of the yarn you're using is going to determine how many pieces you need, so it might be a little bit of an experiment. But I'm just going to hold that yarn down with my thumb just like this, and I'm going to start wrapping around my book. Let's see, the other night I did 25 times for each color, so about 50 times if you're using one yarn. And you know what? You might not use all of those strands. You might have enough to make half of another hat. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There's 25 wraps. And I'm going to do the same thing with this lighter yarn. It's so great to see y'all and hang out with you. It's so great. I'm just going to scoot these over. We'll cut them all at one time. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to hold it down with my thumb and start wrapping. And I have to count out loud so I don't lose track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There we go. Sorry, I lose track if I don't count out loud. So there are our yarn strands just like that. So Nut 5 said we could all use a little ruler like that. Yes, I love my 1/4-inch ruler. It's an Omni Grid. It actually came with, I think there were 3 or 4 different sizes. Let's see, I have one of them right here. Nope, that's not one. I thought I had another one right there. I think it came with a couple of different sized ones. Yes, I use that a lot. So once we have all of our yarn wrapped around our book, we're just going to go right in the middle and cut it. Just like this. And that's it. That's all we need with the book. And there are our strands of yarn. Let me just measure out, if you want to cut individual pieces, how long this is. Let's see. Ooh. Lay still. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's about 16.5 inches long if you want to cut individual pieces. Okay. And you need about 50, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And then we're going to cut our paper towel roll. Now the differences between these two hats is I cut my toilet paper roll at 1 inch tall for this one. And this one I cut about 3/4 of an inch. And I kind of like this one a little bit better, although they're both cute. I think I like the shorter brim on my hat, so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to kind of squishy this down just a little bit so I can measure it out. And just mark it like this. There we go. And then we're going to cut that. I'm going to try to keep it as straight as possible if I can. Let me squishy it down a little bit more. It's going to help me keep straight. This is it, y'all. This is probably the hardest part. Cutting it straight across. Look how many hats you could make from one toilet paper roll. I'm going to cut this little tag off. It's coming unraveled on the inside. There we go. So there's our little brim for our hat. That's it, y'all. We're ready to start creating. Mimsy said squishy it down is a technical term. Yes, in my world we use words like squishy and all kinds of fun words. So we're going to grab our yarn piece, just like this. Here's the cut ends and here's the loopy ends. We're going to grab our little roll, just like this. We're going to put the loop right through the middle of the toilet paper roll. Then we're going to just reach through with the cut ends right through the loop of the yarn and pull that through and pull it tight, just like this. Super simple, right? And we're just repeating this process. This is it. Put the yarn through. Grab your tails and pull it tight. Just like that. See that? You can do all kinds of fun patterns, like I'm going to do 3 of the light ones. 3 of the light, and then 1 of the dark, and we'll see what that looks like. Now I know many of you have already made these before. So if you've already made these, but you're still hanging out with us, I'm so glad that you're just hanging out with us. These hats have been around for quite a few years. So I know many of you have probably already made these. Putting the loop through, grabbing the tails, and pulling those through. See how simple that is? Put the loop through, grab your tails. This is a great project. I sat and watched TV the other night and made those other 2 hats. And this would be a great project for kids, grandkids. If you want to have them make some Christmas ornaments this year, this is a great project for them to do. If they're really young, you can cut the yarn once they've wrapped it. You can cut it for them. But if they're old enough to work with scissors, they could do this whole thing by themselves, right? This is it. It's going to take me a minute to wrap all these, so we're just going to hang out and chit-chat while I do that. So, we have so much going on, so much going on. We have the fires. We have the hurricane that just came through. So if y'all are affected by any of that, just know that we are praying for you. If you want to check in and let us know how you're doing, we would love for you to update us. Just like this. So there's 3. Let me bring in the dark one. Hazel, are you asking about the yarn? I think you could use wool yarn. You could use yarn that is puffy. You know, there's different weighted yarns. I think depending on the weight of the yarn that's going to determine how many strands you need, right? Because you might need a lot fewer if you're using a puffier yarn. So you might not need to wrap your book so many times. And there's yarns that are thinner than this Red Heart yarn I'm using, so you might have to do a lot more strands. But you know what? I think you could really use any type of yarn that you have. I have some yarn that has got fuzzy bits. I kind of want to try that. So there's 3 light ones. And once I get some on, I just squishy them all together just like that. You might have to keep pulling the tails and tightening it all up just like this. Just working with it as you add more strands. That's 1, 2, 3. We'll do a dark one. Thank you. Art by Lid. Thank you. Just letting you know, I did not invent this little hat. I didn't come up with this idea. But I thought it was super cute, and it was definitely worth sharing with everybody. We're just doing the light ones now. When are you doing the Texas Star ornament? That is the video that I recorded yesterday. It is already uploaded to YouTube, and all I have to do is hit publish. So I will probably release that tomorrow morning. I'll show you that ornament. Look at this. This is the one I made during the video. Isn't that gorgeous? The Texas Star is quilted. Isn't that so pretty? This video comes out tomorrow morning. And it's pre-recorded, so it's only about 25 minutes long. And there's a lot of steps. So I'll move you through it really quickly with close-up details of the sewing and the cutting. But yeah, it's 25 minutes long, so it's not like the lives. Isn't that pretty though? There's our dark one. Besides the counting, if you want to add a design in the different strands of yarn you're using, besides the counting, this project really takes not much brain power. So it is a project that I sat and watched TV and didn't lose track. Like when I've tried crocheting and making granny squares and stuff, I have to count my stitches or else it comes out wonky. So when I do crochet, that's not a good project to be watching TV with because I'll lose track of my stitches and my little granny squares come out all wonkety. But this, I can multitask. It's a multitasking craft. Look, I can even do a live. And I don't have to, I'm not worried about messing it up so much. Thank you, Alexis. I love y'all too. I was thinking in one of these Christmas ornament videos, we could make some quilted or salt dough ornaments with a quilt design. I think that would be, oh, see, whoops. I guess I do need to pay attention. 3. Salt dough ornaments that look like quilt blocks. Don't those sound cute? I haven't made salt dough ornaments in probably 20 years, since my kids were little. But I love them. Those are some of my favorite Christmas ornaments to put on the tree. I have a salt dough ornament of a Santa Claus that I made when I was in 4th grade. And it's still, I wouldn't say it's almost perfect. He's a little fragile, but I've reglazed him to help strengthen the paint that we used in school. The paint's still there. He's still like one of my favorite Christmas ornaments to make, besides the ones that the kids have made. And they've made some salt dough ornaments that we put on the tree. So I think doing a salt dough ornament in the shape of a quilt block would be really fun. All right, I'm starting to fill up my little roll here. I'm going to squishy them all together. We're going to do one more set of the light colors. 1, 2. Ooh, Debbie's going to use variated yarn. Yes, that's what this one was. Isn't that cute? All right, there's 3. And let's do one more brown yarn. So see the color that I haven't used the most of? We still have a lot of strands. I'm just going to save them to do another hat with. But the light ones we have more of. So there we go. I'm going to spread those out. The whole roll is covered. I'm just going to tighten up these little strands, these little tails. It almost looks like a jellyfish. If you like jellyfish, there you go. It looks like a little jellyfish. And that's it. So we have a long strand of tails, almost like yarn hair, right? Yarn hair. I'm going to use one of these extra strands as the hanger for our ornament. So I'm going to grab one of those. And I'm going to grab a small little bunch of this polyfill, just like this. Just like that. All right, so with our yarn tails, we're just going to grab them, and I like to just twirl them up just a little bit like this. And we're going to stuff them right through that roll to the other side. This is going to put all the little knots that we created at the bottom of our hat. We're just stuffing all those tails right through the other side. You might want to situate all of your knots just like that. Just like that. Pull them all through the other side. Then we're going to take this little ball of polyfill and we're going to stuff it through, just through to the other side. So you'll see it's starting to get a little puffy right there. Just like that. Just going to give the top of your hat a little bit of shape. And you can use as much or as little as you want. I'm going to add a little bit more. Just like that. And then we're going to take this extra strand of yarn. We're going to lay everything right on top of that, just like that. We're going to wrap it up and tie. And start bringing all of this together, just like that. For me, I find it really helpful to grab all these tails and kind of scoot this yarn that we're using as the hanger down a little bit, just like that. Position it where you want it. I'm going to grab the yarn and just hold it tight and tie it down, just like that, nice and tight. Just like that. And then I'm going to tie a second knot just like that to secure it. And here is the tie. So we can tie this as long as we want the hanger to be. And just put a knot in the end. Just like this. You can do it, Lisa. It's not that hard. So there's our little knot for our hanger. Just like that. And let's cut these little strands off. So there's our hanger. Look, isn't that cute? Now you might want to, if you used, different strands of yarn. Let me see where I've got a little pokey thing is. And you want that pattern to carry through to the top. You might have to situate your little strands a little bit. See that? Brown. But if you used all the same yarn, then it doesn't really much matter, does it? There we go. There we go. Just situate them like that. Isn't that so cute? Now the funnest part of this whole project, I must confess, is trimming all of this extra off. So depending on the book or the cardboard, however you cut your pieces, you're going to have some extra, and this is what we're trimming to give the little ball up at the top, right? This is probably the funnest part for me. I'm first just going to take the biggest part of the chunk and cut that off. And then we're just going to keep trimming until we get our little puff ball to look just like we want it to. This is kind of how I do my haircut, just eyeballing it until it gets the shape that I want it to be. Like that, like that. This part, if you have little kids, you might want to do this part for them if they're not yet really great with scissors. But other than that, the rest is super simple, right? I'm just trimming, doing a little haircut, like this. Except I did this in the bed while watching TV the other night, and I had a huge mess to clean up in the bed, and I'm still finding little fuzzy bits of yarn. Isn't that cute, though? There, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Look, y'all, just like that, our little beanie hat. You know what I did, though? I cut off our hanger. Let's add another one because I cut it off. Don't do that. Don't cut off your hanger. I'm going to tie another hanger on. So I'm just putting it right underneath the puff ball. I'm going to tie it again like that. So look, if you do cut off your hanger, you can recover. Your hat is not ruined. There we go. And pull that nice and tight. Ooh, Hazel said you could use all the little chopped off pieces to stuff your hat with. I think that's a really great idea. I do think, I saw someone, I posted these hats and said we were going live on Facebook, and someone said, and I'm so sorry, I forget now exactly who it was. They said once they stuff it like this, they put a was it a walnut? They hot glue a walnut in here and do a little face on the nut, and it looks like a little person. So that's a great idea. Yeah, you could stuff it in here and then glue a nut or something, maybe a wooden ball right in there and do a little face. That would be super cute. I want to try to see if my bird will let me sit this on top of his head so I can get it like a Christmas card photo of my bird with a little beanie on it, but we'll see if he lets me. So like this, you know, the stuffing kind of stays in there, but if you're worried about it falling out, you know, when you pack away your Christmas ornaments, you can always cut like a little piece of cardboard and put it right down inside and hot glue it if you're worried about the stuffing coming out. But I think for the most part, it's kind of going to stay in there. Or if you're hanging this ornament up higher on your tree and you don't really want to see, if you're looking up at it, the white stuffing, you could just glue some of this in there. You could wrap some yarn around a piece of cardboard and glue that in there. But I will probably just put mine on the tree just like that. Just like that. We're going to keep it nice and simple. Ooh, Hazel said a ping pong ball. That would be good. Claire said she would have cut it off too. Yeah. Ooh, buttons. Yeah. Ooh, you could put a button right in the center of that. Keep that stuffing in there. Oh, Delane. Yes. You could put this on a package as like a little part of your bow. Decorate packet. That's such a good idea. Y'all are so creative. FG4E says, I keep a sticky roller close by to get the fuzzy dust off my mat. That's such a great idea. I don't know if you can see behind me, right there, is a packing tape dispenser. I use packing tape, well, not only as packing tape, but I pull off a piece and kind of try to get the fuzzy bits off of my pressing board sometimes. Not all the time. And then if I'm quilting, I use a piece of packing tape to clean off the strings and fuzzy bits off my quilts before I quilt them so I don't quilt in the stringy bits. Yeah, that's a great idea. So see how fast that goes together? Just like that. We haven't even been on 40 minutes, and most of that I was talking before we even got started. Super cute though, right? I love the little puff balls at the top. Sue said, didn't she just cut her hanger off? I did, Sue, I did. I cut it off. I'm just scrolling up just to see if I've missed any questions. If y'all have questions about this or anything else, y'all, we have a few minutes because I'm super fast today. If you want to type your comments in all caps, it makes it really easy for me to see. Cheryl said, I think these would be good for an ornament exchange. Yes. Yeah, and you could make a whole bunch. If the top of your hat gets a little wonky, I just go in and push my fingers in like this and reshape it. See that? The ladies in my family every year used to do 2 exchanges. We'd do a cookie exchange, which was the greatest. and we did an ornament exchange. I really miss those days. I miss those days so much. Yep, you can just take your finger and reshape the top of your hat if it gets a little wonky while you're stuffing it, just like that. Make it a little bit neater. So cute. Oh, y'all give me just a second. Give me just a second. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Sorry. Had to take care of something. Sherry said a piece of felt would work too. Yes. Yes, that would work. Alexa said save the trimmings and stuff your pin cushions with them. That's a great idea. How can I email you? Sand of the Sun. You can email me at lisacapenquilts@gmail.com. Eleonora said, why not stick it on a Christmas tree ball? Ooh, yes. Oh, I wish I had one close by. I don't. But yes, you could put it on a Christmas tree ball. Wouldn't that be so cute? You could just hot glue it right on there. Dari said, still getting my strings on. I'm slow. Dari, I tend to work really fast when I'm nervous and going on live. That's my natural. I tend to be a little nervous, so I go fast. Lucas Gaming Roblox. Hello. Thank you so much, Miss Hazel. Thank you. Miss Valeria. Just letting you know, I went and I searched the right way to say Valeria. I think I have it down now. I'm horrible with names, y'all. I just am. Can you make another one? Lucas Gaming Roblox. Just letting you know, you're on a channel that does predominantly quilting stuff. Do y'all want me to make another one? We have a few minutes. Let's make another one that's got even a shorter brim. We predominantly do quilting, but we do other genres of crafting stuff too. But yeah, that one's going to be a little wonkety. Let me see if I can straighten it up. Thank you for subscribing. My daughter does a gaming channel. That little tag on the inside, let's just pull that off. Valeria said, please. Did I miss something? Oh, do another one, please. Okay. Yay. We'll do another one. I only have these 2 colors of yarn pulled out. So let's do one that's mostly got the brown yarns, since we have all these extra bits. And I'll wrap some more of the lighter yarn. And we'll do one with a really smaller brim. I'm going to just hold this with my thumb and wrap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 25 times. I think that'll give us enough strands. We'll see. Rosemary. This little hat was cut at 1 inch tall. This piece was 1 inch tall. And this one was cut at 3/4 of an inch. So see the difference of the brim? Both really cute. Depends on which look you're looking for. This one was also cut at 3/4 of an inch. This one, let's measure it. Oh, I cut it right at 1/2 inch. So this one will be even smaller. Valeria, thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to cut this. There's our strands. See how fast that is? And we measured them. They're about 16.5 inches long, but we end up trimming off quite a bit. So I don't know that they have to be that long. Hello, everybody. Hello. I just want to thank my moderators. Thank you guys for moderating the chat. I appreciate you keeping an eye on the chat for everybody. We're just going to start wrapping these. Let's see. Oh, oh, here we go. We're going to start with the brown ones first this time. We're going to make this one predominantly dark, kind of an opposite of this one. So we're putting the loop through, grabbing the tails, and pulling those through the loop. So there's one. I do. I have some really great moderators. I'm going to tell you, they are on it too. They are on it. Thank y'all. At the beginning of the year, one of my goals was to come on live more often. I didn't really have a goal set, like how many times, how often I was going to come on live, but I was really working up my nerve to do live videos more often, right? That was a goal for 2020. And then, of course, 2020 happened. And, you know, we all went into the quarantine. And so I started coming on live every day. And that was a lot of practice. And because of that series and the fellowship and the friendships we've all developed, yeah, I set it up so that we could come on and hang out once a week. But you know what? I don't think I'd want to do that if I did not have some really terrific moderators. Because occasionally things happen with the chat and it can be really distracting. So if I had to worry about moderating a chat myself and doing a project, I just think I just wouldn't be able to keep track of everything. So yeah, we owe a lot of thanks to the moderators. Ooh, I think I'm going to like this dark beanie. Isn't that pretty? Santa the Sun said, I made these a few of these a couple of years ago with your grandson. Yeah, they've been around for a while. They've been around for a while. I had never made them before this week, though. I do think that I'll probably make a whole bunch of these because they're so much fun and they're super duper easy. I don't have grandkids yet. Not yet. Maybe one day. But yeah, this would be such a great project to make with them. How long are the yarn pieces? We measured them. It was about 16.5 inches long. I do think you could do a shorter yarn piece. I just measure mine with a book to make it really fast. And my book was like 8 inches tall. So that gives me a lot of extra yarn to work with, right? And we do end up trimming a good portion of that off. So you could make your yarn pieces a little bit shorter if you wanted. Ooh, Sheila said these would make a cute snowman. Ooh, yes. Oh, Eleanor said we are back online. I saw that on the news. I saw that. Lockdown in France as of tonight. I did see that. It's crazy. That's all crazy stuff, right, this year? Debbie, right? That quilt behind me? Oh my goodness. I still cannot get over that. I cannot get over it. I've just sat and stared at it. Just sit and stare at it. I might have to cut some more brown strips because we did use some on the other hat. Yeah, I was thinking salt dough ornaments. Those are super simple. Those are really simple. In the shape of a quilt block. I think that would be awesome. I have some quilted ornaments in mind. Some that are super duper easy and some that are a little bit, I wouldn't call them hard, but I'll show you how to make them and walk you through it. Yep, I'm going to have to cut a few more brown strips. But yeah, in case you came in a little bit later, I just use a book to measure out my yarn bits. Just like this. I'm not even counting this time. Just wrapping. Let's see. Lisa, do you store your fat quarters by color and novelty? Predominantly by color. Predominantly by color. Or, you know, if it's got a design to it, but the predominant color is red, I put it with the reds. But there are some fat quarters that I've stored that are like novelties, and all those are together. So predominantly my stash, fat quarters and fabric, is sorted by color. Sand of the Sun. Yeah, it was super top secret. I think they had to work really hard to keep it a secret from me, which meant that a lot of people didn't know. But I can tell you it was planned out during a few Zooms. So I guess you really never know what's going on in those Zooms, do you? I guess you never know. It turns out that I ended up messing up their plans to Zoom and talk about the details a couple of times because I showed up in their Zooms. Right in the middle of the planning, I guess. Surprise. Y'all, isn't this super simple? Oh, Sand of the Sun, I know. I completely know. And I know that a lot of people did not know about it. And that was not intentional. That was not intentional. But to keep it a secret, you know, it's hard when you have a large group to keep a secret like that and include as many people as you can without me finding out about it. So just know that it was not intentional. No one was left out of that intentionally. But without me finding out about it, I'm sure that it was really hard to plan that. And when I look at that quilt, I see the entire creative crew as a whole. And yes, I'm super thankful for everybody. See how fast these go? Ta-da, ta-da. Hold on a second, y'all. Jeannie said they were sneaky. Yes, y'all were very sneaky. You sneaky. Valeria says, I never seen your Zoom. All right, so about the Zoom, while I still have a few more little strands to fill in here. The only time there's a link to join a Zoom on the creative crew is when there's an active Zoom meeting going on. Once the meeting is over, we take down the links so people don't think we're Zooming and we're not, right? Because that could be confusing. And we try to announce it on the page to give everybody a heads up to join if they want to. Sometime earlier on in the day, we'll say, hey, we're going to Zoom tonight around 7, around 8, whatever time. And then at that time, a link is posted right on the creative crew. So the only time you're going to see that link is if there's an actual Zoom meeting going on. And once the Zoom meeting is done, we delete the link so people don't think we're still Zooming and we're not. And I host the Zooms quite a bit, but here recently, several other members have been hosting the Zooms as well. Those are probably the Zooms where this planning happened because I was not there, or I just came in for a minute and said hi and then left. So other people are hosting the Zooms too. But yeah, the only time you see a link is when there's actually a Zoom meeting happening. Once it's over, I've asked everybody to delete the links, so you're not going to see any links unless it's actually one going on. Sand of the Sun says, I'm trying to figure out Zoom. If you need help, send me an email. LisaCapenQuilts@gmail.com, or send me, holy moly, Debbie, thank you. Send me a message through Facebook and I'll do a one-on-one Zoom with you and help you set it up. It's super easy and it's free. You don't have to pay for it. I pay for Zoom because I also use it in my business. Now that I've really fallen in love with Zoom, so I have unlimited Zoom meetings, time on my Zoom, but you can get Zoom for free. It doesn't cost you anything. The only thing with the free version is that you're limited, I think it's 40 minutes. Is it 40 minutes? A 40-minute meeting. So when others post the Zoom and they run out of time, they just end the Zoom and post a new link and everybody comes back in, right? But if you have problems, I've helped at the beginning of the quarantine when we started Zooming. I walked several people through how to come in and join the Zoom, so we can walk you through it. Debbie, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Claire says, can you have a video on making an applique pillow for RVs and seat covers? I've watched some videos on that before. Yeah, let me write. Claire, send me an email with exactly what you're looking for. You want me to recover the seats on the RV or just some throw pillows for the RV? Karen said, Lisa, are you using paper towel roll? This is a toilet paper roll, but a paper towel roll would work too, right? They're about the same, right? Whoopsies. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, Valeria says, I want to learn Dropbox. Maybe I can do a tutorial on Dropbox. Dropbox can be tricky. You don't have to sign up for a Dropbox account, but it does make it a lot easier when you're downloading patterns from Dropbox if you have an account. Dropbox, that's also free. You can sign up for an account with Dropbox. It's a great way to share files with other people. But you don't have to download it in order to get patterns that I or somebody else has posted. Sue said, I have no idea what Zoom does. Zoom is basically a virtual meeting room where I can see you and you can see me. And whoever's in the meeting, we can all see each other. We can all talk. And most of the time, we're all talking at the same time. Although we try not to. Sometimes I tell people to bring in a talking stick so that we can hold it up if we really have something we want to say without everybody talking at the same time. Ooh, Mimsy said, how about one on Elfster? Many have issues with it. Maybe we can do that before the Christmas ornament swap so that everybody has an easy time joining the Christmas ornament swap. We'll probably do that as a live on the Creative Crew and not here on YouTube though. All right, all of my roll is covered. See that? Now we're just going to twist this to make it a little bit easier to push through the other side, right? We're pushing through to the other side. And I'm going to keep pushing until all these knots go right inside that brim just a little bit. Just like that. You can shake it out and pull the yarn out through the other side. Somebody said, be careful not to cut your hanger off. I'm going to try not to. But thank you for reminding me. All right, so we have it turned. I'm just going to grab my stuffing and we're going to put it right through just like that. I'm going to put my hand just like this, pinched around that yarn to see the shape, just like that, just a little bit. And that looks good. It kind of tells me if I need more stuffing or not, right? I think that'll be super cute. And for this one, let's do a dark hanger so that it blends in. We're just going to tie a knot and bunch this all up like that. I'm going to scoot it down a little bit and keep pulling on this knot until it tightens up all the way. Isn't that cute? And now we can tie one more knot just to secure that in place. And this time I'm going to take my hanger and I'm going to tuck them down like this so I don't cut them off. We'll tie that here in just a minute, but I don't want to cut this one off. I'm going to pull that out of the way and now we can start trimming. Ooh, Cheryl, that might be a good idea. You could tie that first and then stuff it. For me, I kind of get an idea of the shape and how much stuffing and where to tie it after I've stuffed it, but it would probably work the other way too, right? I always say, whatever is easiest for you, do it that way. This is probably the most satisfying part of the whole project. When I say that, I think of my little niece, Miss Kayla. We would watch YouTubes, and she'd say, "Oh, that is so satisfying." At the time, she would watch slime videos, and she'd always say, "That is so satisfying." Isn't that so satisfying, Aunt Lisa? I miss hanging out with my kiddos. I miss hanging out with my kiddos. This quarantine thing. That's all right. We're going to watch YouTube together soon. That's what I'm hoping. All right. So all those little tidbits are trimmed off. Just like that. And look, I didn't cut my hanger. Now we can tie a little knot in that. What do you think of Easy T Stabilizer cotton woven fusible interfacing for t-shirt quilts? Valeria, I've never used it. I've never used it. So, before I'd really, talk about different stabilizers, just know I've heard of it, but I've never used it. So I really wouldn't be able to tell you for sure, one way or another, how great it is, because I've never used it. Karen said, I am watching you, Lisa, with my 1-year-old dog. Oh, hello. Debbie said, I have 2 cats that would enjoy playing with me. Yeah, they would. So just like the other ones, if the top of your hat got a little wonky while you're tying it, I just take my finger and sort of just straighten it up by pushing down just like this inside the brim. And that makes it nice and neat. Super simple, right? Super simple. Just like that. So let's take a look. This was a little bit thinner of a brim. See that? Ooh, I kind of like this one the most. I kind of like that. So this was a 1/2 inch brim. This was 3/4 and this was 1 inch. So let's look at those lined up. See the difference in the brims? All of them are cute, but this is my favorite. The thinner brim. Yay. Karen said, does the batting stay in okay? I think it does because of the yarn kind of grips it and holds it in. But we were talking earlier, you could glue this onto a Christmas ball. You could put some felt in there. You could put a piece of styrofoam. I've heard of someone taking a walnut and gluing that right into, right inside the brim and then decorating that as a face. So there's all different kinds of ways that you could, close this off nice and neat and really cute. But I'm going to leave it like this. And that yarn, the stuffing, you really have to pull on it to get it out. So I think it'll stay in just like that, if you just want it to be the hat. Diane said, I like the thinnest brim one. Yeah, me too. I think that's my favorite of all three. Beverly said, use it as a name tag. Put a name. Yes, yes. Yeah, super cute. And you know what? I think if you're someone who does crochet a lot, or knitting even, and you like to make beanies, I've made some beanies, but mine always come out wonkety. And after about 5 times of wearing it, it stretches out so big that it just kind of like falls over my face and stuff. So I'm not that great at making beanies. But if you're someone who loves to crochet or knit beanies, then this is kind of a signature Christmas ornament for you, right? Because if you made this Christmas ornament and you used it as a gift tag on your Christmas presents, then people kind of already know it's from you, right? Because that's your signature, right? And then when they use the Christmas ornament and they bring it out every year, they think of you when they put it on the tree, right? Dari said, I finished my first one and I am in love. Dari, I'm so glad you got it done. I'm so glad. Hazel, I hope you have a wonderful dinner. How was your vacation? Oh, this one I didn't tie. Let's tie this one. Diana said, a family of hats. Yes. Sue, you like the thinner brim too? Me too. So I'm not quite sure which ornament we're making next week live. But do know, in case you came in a little bit later, next week, instead of 12 o'clock, I think we're going to be more like 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, because we have a meeting right at 12. And it shouldn't go very long, but it is going to put me a little behind. Ooh, those are already tied. Okay, good. Yeah, so we're going to be on a little bit later next week. Ah, Santa the Sun said, mine went on a miniature tree. Oh, yeah, that's such a great idea. All right, y'all. It's been so much fun. I'm glad we made the second one. Let's see. Where are we at? Here we go. I'm really glad we made the second one. Now I have 4. I'll probably make some more, too. Super cute. Super cute. Yeah, I'm not sure which ornament we're going to be making next week. Tomorrow, keep an eye out for this video. Texas Star Quilted Christmas Ornament. That's super cute. I've made 3 of these while I was designing the pattern. This is my very first one. This was the prototype. And after this one, I wanted to make the hexie a little bit bigger. So there we go. That's the finished design. And then during the video, we make this one together. Much shorter video than today's. It's going to be about 25 minutes long. But it'll walk you through all the steps on how to make it. Vicky. Hello, Vicky. Yep, a video tomorrow. Video tomorrow. Yay. All right, everybody. I just want to thank y'all for hanging out with me today. Thank you for supporting my channel. I love you so much. And one way to support my channel is to give me a thumbs up or to share this video with your quilting friends. So if you're on Facebook and you want to help support my channel, you can share this video or any of my other videos. Not everybody loves the live videos, right? Share any of the videos right over on Facebook with your quilting friends. That would mean so much to me. Thank you, Kate. Yeah, it's a great little craft. Fun and easy. Fun and easy. And they turn out really great without a lot of like meticulous work, right? It turns out perfect. And it's super easy. All right, everybody. Until I see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's not live, though. Until I see you tomorrow, we're going live next Thursday about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Until I see you then, have fun creating. I love y'all so much. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye, everybody.